Hey guys, it's Moo Reaper with another episode of our Roadwarden Let's Play. In the last episode, we discovered that Old Págos, a settlement to the northwest, was beset by a plague, and we're trying to seek help from anybody that has information in order to get the Pneuma-infused items in order to make the Beholder Tree produce a seed that could potentially save them. In the midst of doing all that, we're still roadwardening. I use that as a verb. We are getting distracted with a bunch of side quests, and we come across a monastery just north of Old Págos with a bunch of monks. They follow the rite, the religion, the religious sect that is separate from the United Church of Havlaven. We discover that perhaps Eudocia, who we're told is the enchantress that lives alone in a tower, may know how to infuse this holy seed. The enchantress Eudocia will also be able to help us with the fisherman quest to save, or presumably save, his daughter from being soulless or spellless. And so we're trying to make our way eastward. We've been told that the eastern roads are dangerous. We are a little weak being a scholar. I find it difficult in parts of this Let's Play to keep my nourishment up, to keep my vitality up, to make sure that my Gambason is not damaged, and you can see that off to the right here. My clothing, my appearance is nearly always disheveled. So I wonder, looking back, how much of this would have really improved my chances of success in some of these conversations and some of these dialogue options. I really, for example, I wonder how much the full appearance star would influence how favorable people are of me. Do I just steamroll conversations? I will say this: the Gambason, the defense mechanic, I know for a fact has saved me both engaging with monsters and then running away, keeping me from dying. And you've seen that a couple of times so far in this Let's Play. The vitality mechanic has been more of a hindrance than anything so far in this Let's Play, because I've come across particularly several road obstacles that need to be cleared in order to progress certain quests, and you'll see that in future episodes as well. I've really had to scrounge to figure out how to get enough sleep without exhausting myself. One thing I noticed about the sleep mechanic is some of it costs me nourishment, which I understand because you get hungry overnight, but some of it also costs me my vitality if I was to pay for a room overnight. And I don't quite understand that mechanic. Maybe somebody can explain it to me in the comments. But I was a little confused by that. Obviously our knowledge perk as a scholar continues to be beneficial. The notes you can see here on the screen, I'm writing down everybody's name, sometimes what they do, so that I can question the innkeep at the Pelt about them to see if it gleans any more information. I really love that mechanic. I like this idea that these places and spaces serve particular gameplay purposes and keep you coming back. It's one thing I wish that MMOs actually did more. Instead of kind of making every service available everywhere, I wish there was some incentive in multiplayer games, particularly MMOs and social spaces, to continue to congregate back to a place and not just main city hubs. And so I appreciate Roadwarden for that reason. And so we get a quest from the monks here at the monastery to go take a visit to the enchantress Eudocia, who seemingly is creating and empowering these stone golems. And so they want more information about them. These monks do not seem to be very positive, or they don't seem to have a very positive vibe about the enchantress. They seem to be competing, or maybe they think that she's a heretic. And however, they also send us to retrieve some magical quills. And so, it seems to be like, enemy of my enemy, or a kind of a truce currently taking place until they betray each other. We don't get to see the end of that interaction. We did complete the Quills quest, but we never really see if if we are able to give either one of them a leg up. Now it forces us to traverse, and you'll see this in this episode, traverse through a gate to make it through the heart of the north here, which we've been told is incredibly dangerous. But that's the route that we have to take in order to get over to the Enchantress, or at least one of the routes that we have to take to get over to the Enchantress. And so beyond those quests that preoccupy most of this episode, we come to a gate that is essentially the entrance to the White Marshes, which we don't fully explore in the playthrough. We don't get to the White Marshes settlement. We do eventually in a future episode meet the Peat Warden Thursius, and we discover Glaucia's hideout in a future episode, just kind of FYI. But you'll see that eventually we don't really uncover the entire map. So we discover Quintius at the gate here. Quintius is stranded at the gate. He was previously at Old Págos, and struck it out to, he was officially, I guess, a gatekeeper of sorts, and was supposed to escort people to and from the gate and into the White Marshes, and you'll see that something happens. He eventually doesn't betray anybody, but he loses a caravan or somebody he was escorting into the woods here, and he feels responsible and doesn't want to leave, and so he's duty bound to stay at the gate here, and feels regret for not handling his duties previously. We tell him a little bit about what's happening to Old Págos. We try to glean some information about Glaucia. Just like everybody else, we try to get some more information about Asterion. And we convince him that perhaps he would do well at the Pelt and help the hunters there, or help the innkeep at least, and start over and give up getting stranded at the gate here, because eventually we're gonna need to come through here, and he's actually a barrier to that. So we do figure out how to get him away from the gate, or at least convince him to let us through, because we're on very pressing business to get through the gate here. So that's essentially this entire episode. We end up going back to Gale Rocks to try to get more information about who can help us with certain services, and to get the head maiden, or the head maiden at Gale Rocks, to give us some more information about Glaucia. They seem to have a particularly close relationship. The head of Gale Rocks, who is a woman who seems to know Glaucia pretty well. We find a shell necklace that is made from shells from the beach near Gale Rocks, and we're trying to figure out who that belongs to. And when we show it to the head maiden at Gale Rocks, it seems to surprise her, but like she's seen it before. And so there's some openings, just like every episode. We try to close one door and we open like 7 more. The world again feels bigger than ever. There are a ton of characters to get to know. There's intrigue, there's infighting, there's opportunities to gain leverage. And so I'm really enjoying the politicking here. There is a little bit of fetch quest type situations going on here, but I think that's mostly because of the format of the game. But man, again, world building great, and the setting is it feels dangerous. It feels like even if I am going to a place I've been to before, that it's potentially risky. So yeah, guys, the rest of the episode is me trying to navigate getting Quintius away from the gate, and navigating a little bit more throughout the north, trying to make it eastward to these more dangerous roads. So go ahead and again, subscribe if you want to see the next video. Let's watch the rest of this play out, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care, guys.